Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the curves and the histogram tool. I've brought in an image that's a little bit underexposed to show you how to adjust it properly. The first thing you're going to do is switch from your navigator to your histogram mode, and this will become your ultimate reference for your proper levels on your image. Then you'll bring up your curves, and in Photoshop 3 you'll actually see your histogram in behind your curves. If you don't have Photoshop 3, then just use your histogram on the right hand side here as your reference tool. So in your curves, you'll see that it's broken up into different quadrants. The right-hand side represents your highlights, the center part represents your midtones, and the left-hand side represents your shadows. Essentially what you want to do is bridge the gap in between these. So what I'll do is slide this over to adjust my highlights, just until it kind of hits the peak area here, and then slide this area over until it hits the peak on this side. And that's the first thing you'll do. Hit OK. And you can see that it's already made a difference on the image from there to there. The next thing you want to do is bring up the curves again and create an S-curve. So what you're doing is bringing up your highlights a bit, just adjust to taste, and then bring your shadows down a bit. And that's going to create contrast within your image. And it's just a matter of adjusting it to the point where you really like what you have. Hit OK. And you can see it makes a huge difference from the image that I brought in to the final product. This is essentially the foundation of how we edit images here at Red Leaf Studios, and what we've actually done is incorporated these into our action sets. For instance, with Vintage Quick Adjust, I'm just going to bring the image back to its normal state and run it. And you can see what it's done is it's adjusted the S-curves on it, and then it's also done a yellow overtone to give it kind of a vintage look. All the layers on here are adjustable, so you can increase the midtones or readjust the curves on it. And this is kind of the process that we use for pretty much all our images. It makes it quick and easy for us. So we'll show you this process again with a different image. This image is brought in from RAW, and there was no adjustments made to it. And you can see up in the histogram that the levels, everything looks really good on it. So there's really not too much to do other than adding the S-curve to it. Bringing up the curves, and here again we'll add a little bit of highlight, and by doing this it's also bringing up the midtones in this area, and then drop this down to create a little more shadow area, and there we go. And you can see from the beginning to adding the curves, it makes a huge difference on the image and adds a lot of pop to it. That's pretty much the process that we do for all our images. It's quick and efficient and allows you to just go through your images in a nice streamlined fashion. Again, we'll run our actions on these, so it's just a matter of running the action. Bang! It does the adjustments for you, and it also adds a little bit of vintage tone to it. And then save it, go to the next image. A nice fast process. Using your histogram is so important in everything you do, and even in capture it's something where on the back of your camera you should be looking at your histogram and judging your exposure by that. It's just a matter of looking for that gap and seeing that, you know, I'm underexposed because of it, and not just trusting the image on the back of the screen. And by doing that, it will, you know, it'll speed up things so much for you because you won't be spending so much time in post-production on your images. And with us, we can edit anywhere from 500 to 600 images per day using this process, and it makes things so much faster. And it's just a matter of, you know, bringing it in, and we use our quick adjust actions on it, and then off to the next image. So something to consider. It's something to, you know, learn more about and embrace the histogram.